Hi, I'm Sarah Gazi, CEO of the Association of Lodging Professionals, and today I am hitting the road and going to visit another ALP member property. Now, this property has recently undergone some pretty major changes, and I can't wait to see them. So come along with me and let's check it out. So I made it. I am here at the Woolverton Inn in Stockton, New Jersey. It is beautiful up here, and I can't wait to look around. Let's go. So I am here, and I am already making new friends. Let's check them out. Sheep. I am here with owner Mary Passalacqua, who co-owns with her husband, Mario.
That's right.
And she is going to be showing us around as well as sitting down with me for a cup of coffee. So let's give you a tour.
Okay.
Definitely some culinary history here. Julia Child got married right here. That's really cool.
There has been, especially in the last couple of years, a lot of articles that came out about Julia Child and her life. And one of our favorite little mementos are we have pictures of she and Paul going to a car accident the day before their wedding. And we have the photos of them being out on the side patios with her like a patch above the wall. Oh, it's very cool. Yeah.
This chandelier is amazing. Is that original?
No. That was a Mary Passalacqua, the owner. Yep. Chose that specifically for this space. Wow, it's beautiful.
All right, so we're here in the common area sitting room.
Beautiful.
All right, what's out this door?
So out this door and the step down is our front porch. Front porch is an addition from the Aikland Police, from Maurice and Asher Woolverton. Anything white that you see out on the front part of the house, the balcony, including the mansard roof, is all additions in the 1830s.
1830s. And when was the house originally built?
1792.
1792.
So the original house was just the first floor. So these 4 rooms on the first floor and a bedroom on the second floor. In the 1830s, when the Woolvertons purchased the property, they added the rest of the second floor, the third floor, the mansard rooms, and then all of the white additions that you see.
Wow.
So any trim work, balcony.
Beautiful. So come on upstairs. So this is our stone manor house, which was originally built in 1792 and then expanded in the early 1800s. We wanted to show you one of our nice guest rooms on the second floor. There's actually 3 very interesting rooms. The Tisa Suite is the grandest of the rooms, and it's high. You have their bathroom facility straight ahead. So this would be jacuzzi tub with little magnetic seating, and it's quite luxurious for a main house room. Very comfortable. And then the bedroom here has a nice gas fireplace, spacious room, some beautiful chairs. We gave this room a nice facelift a few years ago.
But you've really still kept the original
Yes.
vibe.
Right. And you will notice there's one thing missing. So there are no TVs in any of our guest rooms.
Yes, and our members.
People really appreciate that. rarely an issue for guests, and even those who think they would like a TV find that they don't really miss it.
I hear that a lot, which I find really, it just makes the whole experience more unique.
That's right.
Definitely sets us apart from the big hotels.
It does. It does for sure. And it gives you a chance to connect, write, read, relax, etc. Okay, so unlike some old homes, we have a full height third floor. We also just have a staircase, so there's no elevator in this building. But nice views of the Champagne property. So we can swing around.
So the high was standing there. It's so gorgeous.
Okay. So we have 5 rooms upstairs, actually.
Okay, so 5 rooms upstairs.
Yeah, so we're going to go to the left, I think, and I'll show you. One room does have a detached bathroom. It is private. And then all the way on the end to the left, I'll show you one of our smaller rooms that is quite charming, called Asher's Glen. And this is a room we renovated a couple of years ago, and it's really a very nice, sweet room for single people or people maybe it's a B&B for the first time, or you don't need to spend a lot of time in the room, but you need a nice place to stay. With nice views of the sheep and renovated bathroom here. So yeah, again, it's the nice outside views. The house is centrally heated, centrally air conditioned, so well climate controlled for people to see and enjoy. Now, this is Amelia Suite, which is on the original side of the house.
Oh my God.
So it's a very historic room and interesting kind of.
And this is was the original main building?
It was, but I think they've done some renovations, so its sizing might be a little bit different than.
New sizing to look.
Yeah, right.
In the original.
It is the original room. Owners headquarters room, I guess you could say. I would say it's the original floor, safety. Yeah, but still modified so that it's comfortable for today's guests who like space and comfortable tubs and fireplaces. Yes, big beds. There are people who come back to one room, and this is one that is a favorite.
I can see why.
We want Amelia's suite, and that's the suite that they want. Back in the days, I guess when property was a private residence, I believe, they owned about 100 acres, and the barn was used for farming or tenant cameras. They leased part of it. And I don't know exactly when it reduced down to 10 acres. Do you know when that was?
So it was sold parcel by parcel during the Woolvertons, not John Paul's.
Yeah, so whittled it down. So the 10 acres that we only sit, we really do sit at first on the hill, and we own 10 acres. But it's a nice
300 plus acres.
Right. So the land, right, that you see up there and behind the sheep pasture is all New Jersey preserved farmland.
Nice.
So these cottages here were built around 2000.
Okay.
So they're about 24 years old. There's 4 of them, 2 here and 2 in this building. And they were built to kind of blend in with the property, but with the vision of, a little bit more privacy, a little bit more space. And they turned out to be very useful during COVID.
Oh, I'm
sure. Wanted, more seclusion. So this is Cotswold. It has a nice view of sheep pasture. It's pretty. All right. They all had gas fireplaces. They were designed that you could be in the tub and enjoy the fire, the coziness of the fire. Yeah. And so let's see. There we go. So really comfortable, luxury living back here.
I love that.
Yeah, and very tastefully designed. They had designers come in, so they're all have different personalities. One is more rustic, one is more of a English cottage, one is more of a traveler lodge.
This is right up my alley.
Yeah. And they all have their own climate control for heat and air conditioning. So, you know, you can have lower independence. We bring breakfast out here. They have outdoor seating. And, you know, sometimes people just come out here for a couple of days and we don't even see them. Not seeing them very much. Yeah. We gutted this down to the studs and we created a 2-bedroom apartment. So this is the one room that has a kitchen.
You have the best chandeliers and lighting.
Well, I know. Well, between my sister, they're all about lighting. Yeah. So
this is a space that can be.
We call this Carolyn's Overlook. You know, what's really nice about this room is that, you know, when we were looking to try and build out our meeting space, this became like a good place to at least have small meetings. You know, we brought their own wall. We put a flat screen here so you could project PowerPoints and such. And it does help to have TV in one room.
Love that too.
It also served as our get-ready space for weddings until we have the new building completed. But, you know, it has 2 bedrooms and a full kitchen. So it does provide more utility, and it's gotten a lot of use. It's really...
You definitely offer a lot of different types of rooms.
Yes.
To accommodate different types of guests.
That's right. Exactly.
And I think that that's really important.
Yeah, it is. And we do have guests who only stay in cottages. We have guests who are perhaps more budget conscious, or they just like the smaller rooms. They connect with a room like our library room upstairs. That's the one they always want to stay in. Or people who always bring their dog. We have one pet-friendly room.
You really have something for that.
Something for everybody. Yeah.
I love that.
That's right. And then, you know, you can see some of the photos around here that just show you what we look like. It looks like when there's a big event on property. So I'll show you this space. This is a cocktail hour in front of the manor house.
This used to be the bar. There wasn't.
It is. It was and is. Yeah.
It was and
is. The barn, a name Northridge, comes from prior owners. So I guess lovingly called their summer retreat, as they're called Northridge, right? So Kaylee discovered that as well.
So Whitney North Timor and his family called it Northridge, as did other owners, but they started it. So what did this look like before the renovation?
Good question. So a few nights ago, we hosted a group of 50 architects from central New Jersey, and they showed some before and afters. But we'll go inside, I guess. The main part of the barn, this main section, was intact. However, it was not fit for use for any sort of storage. And we took it upon ourselves. We had a vision to fully renovate and rebuild. So we rebuilt the barn to its original footprint. And the part that we're standing on right here with the glass enclosure is referred to as the ramp house. So this had collapsed, and there was a wishbone ramp, which is actually very typical of Pennsylvania bag barns. Then the tractors, or I guess carriages, would come right up here and go into the barn and deliver the hay, and then they'd store the hay in the barns. But this had all fallen down. So this section here, we brought in timber framers from Lancaster, and they had worked with our architect to rebuild, and then our contractors to rebuild this part here. And then really we'll go downstairs and see, working from the bottom up, stabilizing the barn and securing it so that we could utilize the space.
So what are we using this? When did this complete?
We just opened up in mid-October. So that would be, opening day was around October 15th or 20th or so.
This is the brand.
So it really is brand new.
And I'm sure it's been a labor of love, and you are still along the way.
Yeah, it's been a good 3 to 4 years of construction and excavation and rebuilding, and preceded obviously by the planning board approval review process that we had to work with the town on. But it is our indoor event space.
So are you currently taking bookings?
We are, yeah. We have our event office to the left down that way. I can show you that part section, and then also we have a full kitchen. So we have a restaurant downstairs that we just opened up the last month or so.
And that's open to the public?
Yes, yeah, we just really listed on Open Table this week.
That's
So it is.
congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. So
Big
the
deal.
kitchen, this is a full commercial catering kitchen. And, you know, we have a brand new dishwasher and all sorts of ovens and refrigerators and smokers and other things that chefs love to have. You know, so all ready to go. So that's
You ain't messing around in here.
it's really a great addition for us. So we're very, very happy to have this up and running. Yeah. And
Very cool.
you know, we were limited we built a nice event business over time, small weddings, larger weddings seasonally outside only with our tent. And now we can do
Those nice outdoor space. So you have like cocktail out.
we will have cocktails on our section down that way. I can show you that from the first floor.
Beautiful.
Yep. Yeah. So the mezzanines are useful. There's an elevator here that we were required to add in, but it's very useful for guests and for obviously for us for storage.
Definitely a big project.
Yeah, a very big. Right, so our event office is here to the left, and then we're going to be taking a look at the restaurant. And
Okay, so this is the restaurant.
yeah, yeah. So upstairs you can see it downstairs. But
So this would be silo.
yeah, so the silo that collapsed, and we rebuilt the silo. We're building some farm tables to use for seating work. We have one more small project out in the back here to build a grotto suite with 2 more cottages. So that's the footing is in place. That's that room. We'll be picking that project back up.
So what type of schedule do you have for the restaurant?
So the restaurant's open Wednesdays to Sundays for dinner, for fine dining. And we have a beautiful fireplace. This fireplace was built by hand with stone from the properties.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know, reused, again, just tried to reuse as much as we could of the original materials. And then we'll host, you know, we can do small private dinners in this space too. So we did a birthday party Sunday evening for about 30 people right in this row. It was really cozy, beautiful setting, very nice, you know, delicious food and just a cozy atmosphere. We have to hire bartenders, and, you know, we can manage that, help you manage that, but it's really the responsibility of the client to have the liquor liability intact. That's part of our contracting. So this from a structural standpoint, these are some of the supports that were put in place. This was a dirt floor. There were troughs here, milking stations, and all of that was removed and obviously, you know, set up for the people side of the equation. Very. It's
We have an outdoor wedding. A reception over
the barn or in the tent. Or in the tent. And this is the area where we keep it outdoor. The hour, by this barn, or, you know, if smaller weddings sometimes used as sections by those trees. Really small weddings, like little elopements or cycles, might be here.
Okay.
Where they might be under the tree, deep beech tree.
Lots of options.
You know, I do have lots of options.